Man, now what's shaking? This is Matty Crypto. Good evening, folks. How about this HEX price? I mean, I know crypto is in a downspin right now. We got a little bear market going on, but I can't do too many more days of this 11-cent HEX. I mean, it makes me a sad panda. Welcome everybody in the chat. This is going to be a fun night. You know, I've been working with the guys at Lethayus, two of the gentlemen I work with. Been doing this for almost a year now. And you guys have seen the Hex King. We'll probably show it again tonight for people that hasn't seen it. And we got some new art that we've looked at over the last couple of days. The Silent Night has made something pretty special. We haven't decided if we're going to make it into an NFT or a one-of-one or what we're going to do with this. And that's one of the good things about this particular project. Let me get my mug in here. Hey, good evening. So like I was saying, this art we're doing tonight is got a kind of a special twist because we're not sure what we're going to do right now with this. And one of the things that we've always talked about with Lethayus and the entire world of Lethayus that we're trying to create is a true community involvement, a DAO. When Pulsechain goes live and Mentra goes live, then Lethayus is going to go live. We're going to do this NFT, our Genesis NFT with the Hex King. But what we're doing tonight, it's cool because we're going to get feedback from the community with everything that we do. We got it with the Hex King. We're going to get it with this one. And then we take that information from the community and we receive all that back as founders, as the gods of Lethayus. And we look into what you guys tell us, make some notes. And then based off of community input, we change the art. We change colors or weapons or the story. And obviously this is going to be a comic book series. So you guys get to decide a lot of the art, the direction we go, what kind of comic book we do, the look, the feel of it, the story, the map. It's really important for us to do that because you guys will have a direct say in the things that we do. So I'm going to invite Duke Silver and also the Silent Night, the artist. These are the three of us make up the founders of Lethayus. I'll get him in here in just a second, but I just wanted to get the chat a little bit of time to get in here. And people that were watching other streams, I saw that Crypto Heartbeat, Matt was over there doing a stream tonight with CC from Liquid Loans. Hopefully some of those people will filter over in here to talk about Hex and Pulse, the art we've got with Lethayus, and also a Hex giveaway. You know, we're giving away $100 in Hex tonight live on stream. We did it a few weeks ago when we revealed the Hex King to everybody in a live stream. And we also did a black and white version of the Hex King. I don't know if a lot of you have seen that before. We're going to show that again tonight. So remind me in the chat if you haven't seen the Hex King, the color version and also the black and white version, because I want to show it to you guys. And someone the last time, we not only gave away a Hex, but we also gave away a signed print. It's a 12 by, I think it's 21, 12 by 24 print of the Hex King in black and white on brushed aluminum. And we sent it to this guy in the mail, the Silent Night, the artist of Lethayus. He personally hand signed this and we're sending it to him in the mail. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to see this thing and get it in person as physical, like one-of-one signed art. We're just not doing NFTs. The physical copies of this stuff is something that's important to us. We talked about it a lot. You know, a lot of larger NFT people have done physical copies of the NFT and personalized stuff. So we want to do that too. Cause you know, as I used to collect cards and stuff. And I used to love the idea of having an artist hand sign something. It was really great. And old, you know, Star Wars posters and stuff like that. That was cool to me. I know a lot of people do that, Pokemon cards and stuff. I guess you can't sign a Pokemon card. But the physical stuff that you can sign and see and touch and feel, that's really cool, man. You can hang it on the wall and hopefully this becomes really popular one day. So again, hello to the chat. Bearded Saint, how you doing, brother? Sup, everybody? Rogers from over at Mentra. He's one of the founders of Mentra. If you're not familiar with Mentra, it's mentra.io, and it's going to be the main. I think it's the first NFT marketplace that will be launched on Pulsechain. So we're going to have someplace ready to go for people that are on OpenSea or whatever. If you've got a NFT on the Ethereum blockchain, you're going to get a duplicate of that on Pulsechain. So hopefully when Pulsechain goes live and the price kind of settles down and Mentra works out the bugs and kinks, whatever they're doing with their the website and the code and stuff of Mentra, that NFT marketplace will become the marketplace for NFTs on Pulsechain. It's going to be faster, so much cheaper, and when people are already got their stuff on Ethereum anyway, jumping over to Pulsechain, the experience is going to be so much better. So again, thanks for everybody for being here. I see Chris, DCR, David Lee, Yup K, Hexagrapher. Welcome, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Trevor Elliott, what's shaking, brother? So here's the lineup. We're going to do some Hex, some Pulsechain talk. I will showcase, Richard Hart, his Twitter page, hopefully to kind of funnel in some people that may not be familiar with Hex and Pulse or Lethayus or anything we're talking about. It all starts with Richard Hart, the big dog, man. So I want you guys to go to his Twitter page. I'll show that here in just a second. Hopefully you can follow him. I think he's got like 220,000 people that are following him on Twitter now. And he finally got his verified check mark on Twitter. I want to also emphasize following, obviously, us with Lethayus, our Telegram group, to keep in the know, our Twitter page, and also the Silent Knights Twitter page. Not only are we going to do $100 worth of Hex, I think it's like 910 Hex. It's almost 1,000 Hex right now. So with Hex being at almost 10 or 11 cents, the amount of Hex that buys is pretty powerful. When you get 900 Hex right now tonight, someone's going to get that. You'll also get a duplicate copy on Pulsechain, so you get 2 for the price of 1. You stake that at 5,555. I mean, that's a lot of good poop. Anyway, so we're going to do that, and if we can get the Hex, the Silent Knight, the artist of Lethayus, NFTs and stuff, if we can get his Twitter page to 100 followers tonight, which should be pretty easy to do, if we do that, I'm going to give away another $100 worth of Hex. And if we can get the Lethayus Telegram group, I think it's to 1,000. That was my goal, to get to 1,000 in the next couple of weeks. I will give another $100 worth of Hex. So we got a lot of giveaways to do. I think it's really important to do giveaways because a lot of people that come into crypto, this may be their first experience with any kind of crypto. And I like that. I like for them to avoid some of the pitfalls and the problems and the failures that me and so many other people that have been in crypto for a long time, you had those fails and the learning experiences. But I'm glad I had that stuff, and I'm thankful for it. But I want new people to come in and not have to experience ICOs and failures and rug pulls and scams. If their first introduction to crypto is Hex and Pulsechain and this community and NFTs that actually represent art and by someone who actually physically signs stuff, I think it's really valuable because they avoid so many of the pitfalls that all of us had at the beginning of our crypto journey. So this community is fantastic. Hex has been up 100% uptime, and Pulsechain, right at the infancy of Pulsechain any day now, honestly. So it's a really good time to give away, not only art and stuff that we're doing, but also these Hex giveaways puts Hex, real crypto, in the hands of people who may be new or may just have a little bit of Hex or may not have a 555 stake, that Quattrocinco. So I love doing that. Plus, people reach out to me that won giveaways in the past that didn't have a MetaMask. So it allowed me to get one-on-one with them and show them how to set up a MetaMask and give them the 101 about security and how to keep safe in crypto. So you do that, you set up MetaMask, and you introduce people to a great community and great DeFi, true DeFi with Hex and Pulsechain, and you get them Hex. It opens up a whole new window for people to be really successful with this kind of project. So, all right, so we got a few minutes. People can get in here 5 or 10 minutes or so. Sandy Beach, how you doing, girl? Good to see you. Who else jumped in here? Is that E&J Gold? Goldfinger. He's been around crypto for a long, long time. I think I first saw Goldfinger back in maybe 2016 or 17. In crypto world, that is a long, long time. So I'm going to bring in Duke Silver, and where is he?
Where is he at?
There he is. What's going on, man?
Hey!
Welcome. And
What's going on?
This is the Silent Knight.
Hey.
How you doing, man? Welcome
I'm
to the show,
excited to show this new artwork. It's gonna be awesome.
I am too, man. This is something that me and Duke, we actually kind of sit on the sidelines and we give ideas and we kind of help the story go along, and Duke writes the story and all the verbiage and stuff. I'm just a cheerleader. That's what I am with Hex and Pulse and crypto. I'm just a cheerleader. I'm here to hang out with these guys. I've known them both for a long time, and it's exciting to actually see this art unfold. When me and Duke watch the actual physical stuff that the Silent Knight does, we're just as impressed, I think, than anybody else. Even though we see it like we're building up for it, and it kind of teases us for these.
Yeah, he was teasing us hard on this one.
It was bad. So we get to see it, and I'm blown away, man. And I know the caliber of work that he does, but it's really cool to actually see this, especially when you juxtapose that to other NFT projects. So,
Yeah, me and
what
SK
did you think
got
when you
lunch.
first saw it, Duke?
Well, I was going to say, me and SK got lunch last week, and I was like, "So I know you're working on this. Can I take a peek?" He's like, "Nope, nope."
I didn't know that. Good. It was
like,
fun, man. I loved it.
Me.
I mean, it really is. The kid in the candy store thing is
Yeah.
really representative of what this is, because it's, you look at it, you're like, man, you just know how much time and effort that he puts into it, and hopefully become successful in this. I hope people get introduced to art like this. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun,
I was just going to say I could set this up a little bit because there's a little bit of a story to this. Because I know SK was working on a castle, and I sent that tweet that Richard had put out, which I have a screenshot of that. But he put out a tweet on May 11th. Let's see if I can pull that up with it. Get it.
While you're doing that, Duke, I was gonna bring in somebody else. The community probably knows this cat. He's a big part of crypto, internet money. It's going to be a big deal. It's over on Binance Smart Chain, but it's going to come over to Pulsechain. So you guys know this guy. Get in here. KG, how's it going, brother?
What's up, knights,
hey,
gods, Lethayus people?
Good to see. Is that a watermelon on your shirt?
Everyone doing?
Good.
Yes, it's a watermelon shirt. My in the car with the family. We're on the way to the river right now.
Nice.
Amazing.
Well, I'm glad you got to make it, man. And you're breaking up just a little bit. I don't know if it's my end or your end, but I'm excited, dude. I'm excited for you to see this and get your input, because I value that in the crypto world. And hopefully we can kind of show this off. We've been talking to you about Lethayus and what you're doing. And like I was saying earlier before these guys jumped in, it's important for us to get the community their input in what we do, because I want them to see that all the suggestions and the stuff they do, we can kind of, digest all that information and then take it in, narrow it down, and reach back out to people again and say, you saw the art, give me your suggestions. And then we can kind of dwindle that down, and people can see the suggestions they had actually manifest in the art we do. So it's going to be fun. Sorry, Duke, take it away, brother.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, so that's actually kind of what happened even with us in a kind of a different scale. But so yeah, SK was working on a castle and saw this tweet Richard put out May 11th, said, "We are," that's a great tweet, "We are the shining city on a hill. The bodies of our enemies float past us." And so I dropped that on Telegram to you guys, and SK was like, "Whoa, okay, let's work on that." So I think we can maybe integrate that into what he was already working on. So he got to work. The castle thing. I know SK was just going to do a kind of a quick drawing of that, just to kind of show some previews like he has of some stuff he's working on. But he really took a lot more time this week to work on this. SK, you want to talk about it a little bit before we get into actually showing it?
Yeah. My original thought process was to just kind of work on a concept design for a castle, just an initial sketch to, just to give the world of Lethayus more depth and more detail. And so I was thinking more of like Richard Hart, the Hex King, and his castle and what it would look like. I want to start drawing some environments and landscapes and different things that bring more flavor to the world. But anyways, this tweet came out and it was perfect, because as I was drawing the castle, I could see maybe including some other elements that go right along with the tweet. So the way that tweet dropped right at the right time as I was working on it. So it was amazing, just coincided perfectly. So I was really excited about it and got to work on it. And it went from a concept sketch to more of a finished pencil drawing. And I was really proud of this and really excited to put it out there.
Yeah, I remember we talked a little bit. We were talking about, because you can obviously draw in digital and then also in pencil, and which you said you really enjoy doing the pencil because you have a lot more control and everything. But it's really neat how this just kind of came out on just pencil. And what was it, vellum? What paper did you use on this?
Yeah. Normally I'll work on Bristol, which is kind of a thicker paper, but I was doing this on vellum, which is real light. It's almost like tracing paper, but it has this real nice translucent quality to it. And so when you put it on a white background, it really pops. I love working on it. And so that's what the original is a pencil traditional drawing. And I was telling Duke that there's a big difference between drawing traditionally versus on a tablet. I do both. On a tablet, you're drawing on glass. It just has a different feel. You can still do the same things with it. It can look very similar, but for me, I like traditional better. I mean, it's like the difference between reading a tablet book or a digital book versus reading the actual thing and you're having a book in your hand. It's just got a different tactile feel to it. So yeah, so I can do both, but I definitely like doing traditional for sure.
And I actually think it looks better to me, the traditional stuff. That's the old man in me, but I love it. I think it really the details that this particular Shining City thing has is so beautiful. Like we just all get used to seeing digital stuff on the internet so much, especially with NFTs. Everything looks digital and almost like clip art to me. So to see art like that, it's awesome. The Hex King, I mean, it blew us away. But I was telling you guys earlier when I saw the city one, dude, I actually like it better than the Hex King, and I did not think I would like anything better than that. It just the Hex King is so rich at heart, and it encompasses so many of the details about that. You saw that, KG. What did you think when you first saw the Hex King? I think you're on mute, brother.
Yeah. Can you hear me better this time?
Yep. You're good now. You're clear.
Perfect. Yeah. Silent Night. Good to finally talk to you, dude. You have skills, bro. When I saw that, I was impressed by the boot with the teaser, and then when I saw the whole entire piece, and when I saw the whole piece, man, that was awesome. Great job.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. And
I know you've got kind of a little niche there too, KG. You love the whole world of, wizards and medieval things and the castles and stuff. So I kind of think it kind of fits right in your wheelhouse, this kind of stuff. So the feedback was nice. And I've got a ton of DMs. Gary Funded Jim gave me a couple of voicemails, videos talking about this and giving us some insight. So it's great to get like real feedback from our community because we're so knowledgeable with Hex related stuff and Richard Hart products that creating things that we think will be great and then showing to the community maybe or giving them like little ideas and stuff, even after the fact, after you may see this, the stuff we're doing tonight. And we want to get feedback from you guys. If you think we can make any tweaks or improvements or things that we can do, we want that feedback. So, this really is a community-driven thing, and I want to emphasize that a lot because I don't know too many other NFT projects that want to be as community-driven as this. So I want to encourage people to see this, even if you're seeing it not live. If you see it a few months from now, we're going to do a lot of things this year. We got a lot of things planned. If you go to Lethayus.com, I've got the links to the description of that stuff, our Telegram group, the Twitter, the website. Please check that stuff out and share this and get it out to people because the more engagement we get with Lethayus, it only pumps our own bags and gets the word out for Hex and Pulsechain. So the algorithm with YouTube and Twitter, it really feeds off of that stuff. How much we comment, how much we share, how much we look into other projects and stuff. It helps Hex and Pulsechain as well.
Yeah, if anybody has ideas about stuff that we could that SK can draw, like feel free to chime in on Telegram. I know Richard, I'm not following him as closely as some folks, but I go over and check out stuff from time to time. But the timing was great for this. But yeah, if you guys see something that Richard tweets and some visuals start popping in your head, like feel free to come over and go, hey, what about this?
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I always think about people chiming in on ideas we have or if we finish something to kind of do that. But yeah, I would love to do that. If the actual community can reach out to us, like you're saying, and give us ideas for actual, NFT art that they come up with, that would be great because, there's only 3 of us.
And obviously we're going to do that more whenever the demigods, come into play with purchasing the NFTs. They're going to have like an extra access to doing that. But until we get to that point, like we'd love to just hear the general community just kind of feedback on what they like to see and all that.
For people that may not be familiar with that, Duke, can you explain that? Like what do you mean by demigods?
that's a good point. I appreciate you saying that. We should probably say that each time, because we've talked about it before in other videos, but some folks may have not seen those. So obviously this world of Lethayus, we are the gods of that. So we're kind of like a holy trinity, I guess you could say, of Lethayus, the three of us. But you know, the NFT projects, a part of what makes them cool is when you buy in, you become a member of this kind of elite group that's a part of this movement, a part of this culture. And you know, if you consider like the Bored Apes community, like even those guys, like when you buy in, you get all these exclusive access to different things. And so instead of just calling those people members or anything like that, like we wanted to use a different word that just gave a connotation of you get say into this. So that's the reason we're calling folks who buy in. Once, obviously you can't buy in now because we're not selling anything just yet, because Mentra is not live. But when we go live and you buy in, you become a demigod. So when you hear that term, that's what that means. And that essentially just means is now you're in the club. The different things that's going to open up the keys to a bunch of different things, when it's whitelist spots, exclusive merchandise that only you can get a hold of, the ability to actually, like we've been talking about, speak into projects. You know, one of the ideas that we had was we're obviously going to be creating a big map of this world. But we thought it would be great to allow the demigods to actually speak into certain aspects of that. So there'll be mountain ranges and rivers and oceans and all that. So we could open it up and say, hey, what would you want to call this mountain range? You know, we talked about the shitcoin marshes because, you know, that would be kind of a place where people get lost, you know. So it's just little fun things where we could play off of memes of crypto. And again, that's just one thing, but that's just an example of what demigods would get to actually speak into. So we'll be taking polls and giving ideas and go, okay, here's, you know, give us your thoughts. And then, okay, we've narrowed it down to 3 or 5. Which one, you know, what should we call this, or what should we do with this X, Y, and Z? So when we say demigods, that's really what it is. It's just, it's basically more exclusive access. But until we get to that point, in essence, people who are just coming along are kind of fitting that role right now. So we'd love to get some feedback just initially before we get to that point. But yeah, hopefully that was a good explanation of that.
It was good. And I think I like the exclusivity of the Hex King, being that only 369 of them made, when other, you know, cryptos are 5,000, 10,000 series. I think, you know, we have thousands. We got like 300,000 people that own Hex right now. I can't remember what it is. It's crazy. But to have that kind of community with Hex and Pulsechain and only have 369 of the Hex King, it's really limited. I think it's going to be kind of cool and special to have not only a community-driven NFTs, but when you narrow down just those 369 people, we're going to talk to those guys. Probably have a Telegram channel devoted just to that small group to talk to us and get feedback. They can help us get feedback from the community and then help us narrow down things with our 369 people, and we can, you know, kind of figure out where we're going to go next with that. I mean, the shitcoin marshes, dude, every time I hear that, I love it. And that map, I mean, making a map of the world of Lethayus, that's going to be fun to see an NFT of that and to see the community, you know, talk about that. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of fun things coming up. And I know it's not a great time right now because, you know, like I said, Hex is 11 cent, and we got a little bit of infighting in the Hex community, and it's discouraging to see. But, you know, all these little squabbles and stuff, and Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto in general is way down right now. Terra Luna, the fiasco of that has been brutal. I don't know if y'all been following that, but it's not to give kind of a negative connotation on crypto when stuff like that happens and when crypto is down. But, you know, with Hex, we don't feel any pain. If you've got Hex and you've got staked Hex, it doesn't matter if it's 11 cent. So it's a lot of things coming up that's going to be bright. Once Pulsechain launches, people are freaking out that it, you know, they say May, and some people thought it was going to be the spring, and then, you know, it may not be May now. Who knows? But even if it's May or June or July, you know, Richard Hart creates stuff that's quality. And I mentioned earlier about Hex being, you know, 100% uptime. So our community is great. The products are great. Hopefully these NFTs and Mentra and liquid loans and stuff is going to be really super fun. So I know we've got, you know, I don't know, 15, 16 people in here. We want to wait just a little bit longer. And I wanted to, once I get some feedback from you guys in just a second, I'd like to show for people that may not have seen the Hex King. And I also want to show off the black and white Hex King. We're going to send that to someone. And you may not have seen that. That we can kind of set it up and preface before we jump into the other art. You out of
Hey,
the car
Maddie.
now, KG? Yeah. What's
Yes, I just wanted to let you know I do have to go. I'm at the river with the family, but what you guys are doing is awesome. I'm bullish on Lethayus, and I'm honored to be a part of the circle and the community. So thank you for everything you guys are doing.
Awesome, man. Thanks for jumping in.
Awesome.
Sorry, I get long-winded when I talk. We're 25 minutes in, and I know people are waiting to waiting to see the art, and some people may just want to get some hex, man. We're gonna do a giveaway here shortly. So, yeah, we appreciate you being on, man. Really, really appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks,
I'll see y'all in the
KG.
future. Yep, likewise.
All right,
Yeah,
See y'all
thank
later.
you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Jump in here, Silent Night.
Oh, I was just going to tell you that I know that KG had to, he was trying to get your attention. He had to get off. So I was just trying to give you a heads up.
Good. KG's a good dude, man. I know I take for granted that I know him, and we all talk about people that jump in stream, but like I said, I take for granted that maybe the community or new people may not know who he is. They don't know who we are, or Lethayus, or Hex and Pulsechain and stuff. So I try to talk about that just a little bit, just to let people that may be new to this, like I was saying. But KG, he's the founder of Internet Money. So if you guys want to look into that, I think I got a link in the description of the video as well. But if not, reach out to me on Twitter. Speaking of that, reaching out, when we do the Hex giveaway, it's only going to be for people who are live in the chat right now. So I wanted to reward people for kind of sticking around. This is not going to be a long video. We got 5 or 10 minutes left. But we're going to give away $100 worth of Hex to someone in here. When we do that, if you could message me, or if you feel comfy putting your Twitter out here in the chat for the winner, we'll pick someone to give $100 worth of Hex, and I'll send that to you tonight. And I'd rather get your Twitter handle live in the chat as opposed to try to track you down and reach out to you, because I'm scared that someone's gonna get the Hex and then scammers and nonsense will reach out to me on Twitter saying I won, send it to me. So anyway.
Hey, I'll say one thing real quick while Duke's loading things up. One thing to watch as well, I know we were talking about stuff coming out and ideas that we have, is that I'm going to be trying to put out little teaser videos every couple days. So definitely be checking that out. I put them on Telegram and post them on Twitter and things like that too. So
that's a great point. Yeah.
Maddie,
and,
are you wanting to show the Hex King first? Is that what you said? Because I didn't have that.
Yeah. Yep. Do you have a better version of this? I got it popped up on screen here. This is just from the Twitter feed.
Oh yeah, you could do that. That's good.
So this is the Hex King. A lot of you have seen this. Oh, the chair goes on and on. I love it. So Silent Night, if you can kind of, I guess, tell people that may not have seen this before, this is so cool, man. We saw that, and soon we got to do this too. We have a time lapse of the Hex King showing, I think it's like a minute or so. And it shows a lot of the stuff before, the candelabra's on and before the Prada boots. And it's awesome. We need to show that soon. But can you tell a little bit about the inspiration and kind of what you did here, Silent Night, with the Hex King?
Yeah, so I was working with Maddie and Duke, just trying to come up with some ideas of how we wanted to portray Richard Hart as the Hex King. And so we tried to take a lot of his characteristics and kind of put it into this comic book superhero medieval type style. And so as we were coming up with the ideas and as I was sketching things out, we noted, a few things, like, for example, when you watch him on YouTube, he's got the Rolexes spinning in the background. He's got the chair that goes up past the screen. He's got the candelabra. He's always wearing Louis Vuitton. He's really flashy. He's got those big boots and all that. So we tried to put all that together and make him into this superhuman hero of our story. And so, as you can see with the figure here, he's sitting on the throne just like he is in his YouTube video. We put the spinning Rolexes on the side of his throne. He's holding the candelabra, and that's actually turns into a weapon, which you'll see here in just a minute when we show the new drawing. And then in his outfit, he's got the Pulse Hex symbol together on his chest, and his shirt is actually a Louis Vuitton shirt. And some of the designs that we've worked with, we put the actual Lethayus logo in there instead of Louis Vuitton. And then with the boots, those were inspired by a couple months ago. He was wearing those big, gaudy moon boots. And so I used some of that and put into these boots. And so you'll notice the big pockets on him. And, we just wanted him to be kind of outlandish and in your face without it being corny. We wanted it to have a tone of being serious and and someone that really looks majestic. And so that's what we're going for with this.
And I'll show the black and white version. And this is, like I mentioned when we started this video, for people that may come in late, we're actually chose someone. I think it was the last video we did with Lethayus, and we
It was a Telegram group.
was it okay. We kind of revealed this.
When we got to 100, we were like, we're going to give a signed copy.
There you go.
Yeah, but we did talk about it in the last video.
If you're not in the Telegram group, please look in the description of this video and join the Lethayus Telegram group. As I mentioned earlier, when we get to 1,000 in there, we're going to give away $100 worth of hex to someone in the Telegram group. So jump in there, say hello. As Duke was saying, in the Telegram group, we got to 100, and we actually chose someone in Telegram to win this. We gave this away. It's a brushed aluminum black and white version of the Hex King. And
we're getting it printed on aluminum. It's going to be pretty sick. It's like, I think it's like 20, what was it? 28 inches,
12 by 24, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So
it's 1 by 2 feet, and it's signed by the Silent Knight. So this is, I mean, it's kind of a one of one. I don't know if we'll do more in the future, but it's really cool, man. So I would love to get a 1 foot by 2 foot black and white Hex King. It's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, it's on the way in the mail. So when we actually get it in hand before we sign it, we'll get some shots of it too and share it before we mail it off to I forget who it was that I've got his name that won the contest. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Can't wait to see that in person.
I think it's Con
yeah.
won it last time.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to let me get rid of this, and I want to add the stream. Maybe if you guys can look up on Twitter, I would love for y'all to look up the Silent Knight on Twitter. I'll pull it up here because this should be a bunch of Silent Knights, but this is SK.
I was going to say, make sure it's the right one because I know there's several of them.
Let me pop this to stream too so people can kind of check it out. So
there it is.
Yeah, this is SK. And a lot of people, you follow NFTs and you follow influencers and stuff, but I don't want you to be swept under the rug. People may follow Lethayus, they may like the art, but how often do they, dig into the weeds and try to actually follow the actual artist? So I want you to get some honor, man, get some praise, as Richard Hart would say. He's in it for the glory. I want people to follow you, man, because right here on your Twitter page, when we get to 100 followers, when the Silent Knight gets there, I will give away Lethayus. We're going to give away $100 worth of Hex. So we'll do that to one of the 100 followers. Nice. Obviously, we'll pick it out. And then up in the top right, you'll see just some of the art, that helmet. It's like a 1 minute video. You're doing the Hex sword. And then the most recent one that it's almost like a female, like a Valkyrie. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a elven princess. And so that one and the helmet, I put out part 1, and part 2 is going to be coming out soon, where I finish the drawing itself. That's just the first part.
Whew. I didn't know that. That's nice, man. So it's going to be a part 2. Is it going to be colored or just?
I'm not sure. Right now, this is just a concept drawing. So a lot of these will be just pencil or black and white for now. And then when we decide on which ones we want to use and integrate into the story, then we'll do a more finished version.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say hello to the chat again. I know people are kind of coming in. I got some new faces here I haven't seen before. Brittany Gonzalez, Richard Decker, Matthew Thomas just followed. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Just anything to get the word out. When you guys support us, you're supporting a real artist. And also, like I said earlier, you're supporting Hex and Pulse and the algorithm with YouTube and Twitter. So
yeah, SK, that should be 35 now because Matthew Thomas over here just said he followed you. So
yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
You guys got to help me keep track of all the giveaways too, because when we reach Telegram's 1,000, that's 100. Doing 100 tonight. If Lethayus on Twitter reaches, what are we at right now? I think we're almost at 300.
Almost 3, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to do something for that too when we get to a 500, or I think Telegram's 1,000, so maybe Lethayus on the Twitter. If that gets 1,000 too, we need to give away 100 Hex because I love doing that, man. I like giving Hex to people.
Yeah, we can do more prints as well like this too. So if you guys are into the prints, like let us know. Like if that's something that you really like as far as giveaways, we'd love to hear that too.
That's a good idea.
And at some point we can give away like like that drawing you see of the Elven Princess, the the pencil drawing, concept drawing. I'd be happy to give those away at some point, depending on what we're doing. So
Nice. Okay. Well, I think we kind of built the suspense up a little bit here. I would love to, before we show this, SK, if you can tell them maybe about this. Obviously, Duke talked about this earlier as far as the quote, and I think I tweeted it on our Lethayus Twitter, that the quote that inspired you to make this was, how does it go again?
He says, "We are sitting on a hill, I think, or a city shining on a hill. Let the bodies of our enemies float by." I believe is the quote.
We are the shining city on a hill. The bodies of our enemies float past us.
Yeah.
That was his tweet on May 11th. So just a few days ago. So, and this is kind of, when you see this print, like this is SK drew this just within the last few days because the tweet came out on the 11th of May. So,
and it's funny too, because when SK does stuff, he brings it to me and Duke, or is it Duke and I? And we, he asks for feedback sometimes. And kind of the Hex King, we were kind of all going at it and, talking about it. What can we do? Because there was just so much going on. It was the first one, the Genesis one. So we were going at it. I'm sure SK's like, oh my God, these idiots. I gotta, he's in the world of art. And we're just talking. We're just going at it. It's nice to have that feedback, act like we can just do anything. And he's the one that's gotta fix all these things. And then when he brought this Shining City, he asked for feedback, and I literally couldn't think of anything to make this better. It was really, really a home run. So, I don't want to pump it up too much, but I'm anxious for people to see this. And once we show it to you and kind of go through it, it's got some audio here, so you guys turn your sound up. But as he goes through it, we stop, then we can jump back to SK, and he can kind of explain kind of what's going on. But
yeah, we're gonna try to do a pan around just with some music playing, so everybody can see the detail. And even there's detail here that me and Maddie just were looking at this before we came on live here, and there's detail that I didn't even see until I actually have this zoomed up on my screen. So it's even more incredible up close, it feels like to me, than it was the first time I saw it. So it's pretty impressive, and we're gonna try to get close and then back it out so you guys can see the detail and then the whole thing. So
all right, so you guys ready? Should we take a little peek?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let me try to cue all this up here.
Let me know when you're ready, Duke, and I'll throw it up. You guys in the chat, y'all ready to see it?
Am I sharing the right one there, Maddie, that you can see?
Yep.
Okay.
All I have to do is push add to stream and your golden grams.
Okay, I'm going to hit music and then we'll start.
All right.
Okay? Hang on 1 second.
Chat saying do it.
Do it. Go. Okay. Hang on. All right. Here we go.
And here we go.
The suspense.
Man, I'm glad I had my audio on mute because I was excited, man. That's pretty powerful. The chat was liking it too, man. So, Silent Night, walk us through this, man.
Yeah, so I started with the castle, and actually we thought about doing a little thing where I drew a few lines, and then we thought about doing, and we may do this for a future drawing, where we were going to just show those lines, just real abstract scribbles, and just say, hey, you know, what's your guess on what this is going to turn into? And so that was kind of the original thing. And then this tweet came out, and we started talking about maybe developing it a bit more. And so as I was doing the castle, I started thinking in terms of this tweet, like, how can I incorporate Richard Hart into it? And so there was this space off to the right-hand side. And so I started playing around with the figure and how he would stand. And I wanted him to, at first I thought, well, maybe he should stand like in victory at the top. But then I thought, no, he's got to have a little action. Like he's just got done defeating all these people. So I did that. And then I thought, you know, we had talked about doing incorporating the knights somehow. And so I started putting these knights in the background. I decided to leave them in a silhouette because I didn't really want to give them identity yet. I just wanted to indicate that here he is with all his knights. They're defending the city and destroying all these other enemies. And then with the quote of them floating past us, having that castle up on the hill, I made it kind of a valley and then put the water in between and had that waterfall coming off the castle to give it the kind of make it look like a river flowing past them, and then put all those bodies floating there as the defeated enemies of Richard Hart and the Knights of Hex. So and then I just put in the details of the trees and the rocks and then the clouds behind, and then added the light beams coming off the castle as the shining city on a hill.
Man, now somebody asked in the chat, how long did this take you? Do you have an idea of how much effort and time, like physical time, it takes to do something like this?
Yeah, this one took a little bit longer, but not like not super long. The detail in there is a bit deceptive because, like, for example, the trees there in front, where you have your cursor, all those trees, it seems like it takes a long time, but really you're just indicating trees. So it's a lot of tiny scribbles, and then you're giving some variation to it to make it look like shadow and light. You know, if you ever look at a field of trees, it's not one shade of color. There's lots of different shades and indicating, you know, light sources and all that. And then same with the city on the hill. I'm just indicating that there's buildings there. I'm not actually going in there and drawing every single house, even though it kind of looks like it a little bit. But so this one took a couple days, working on it a few hours a day. I don't sit there and draw for like 14 hours a day or anything crazy like that. I usually sit down for 2 or 3 hours at a time, a couple of days a week. And and so it definitely took a little time, but you know, not like weeks or months or anything, just took a couple of days. So.
Man, and the candelabra is so great. That's kind of morphed into something obviously synonymous with Richard Hart. You know, I like how, you know, he's got the Prada boots and the Louis and the cape and the expression you've got. I mean, to be so detailed, and it really looks like he's looking over that cliff at the bodies he's just pummeled. And I love the candelabra, man, because it used to be obviously the candles, and now we were thinking about incorporating the candelabra as his actual weapon. So to see the transition of that kind of come to reality was awesome to me, because we first saw this, me and Duke were looking at it, it was just a candelabra, and then your tweaks added the actual blades on the candelabra. So I would love to, you know, in the chat, and obviously people can comment if you're not seeing this live, you're watching this a week or a month later. Give us your feedback. Tell us, what do you like, what you don't like, you know, if you got some constructive criticism, I'd love to hear that too, because I want to, you know, get back with the Silent Night with some feedback. We may be able to make some tweaks to this that we may not have thought about, or it may just stay perfect like it is. But I would like to know what people think about this, and if anything can be made better we haven't thought about. So it's awesome, man. The candelabra does it for me. And I think one of the first drafts of this, you had a hex symbol on the castle somewhere, and that was taken away. And I like it better without it. We were talking about how, you know, when you look at this, if you know about Richard Hart or see that quote there, or if you're familiar with this community at all, you just kind of know that is his castle. You don't have to have the hex emblem there, but it was cool either
Yeah,
way.
with the candelabra, that's something we've been talking about for a while, how to turn that into a weapon, because I know when the Hex King came out, we talked about that, and Duke had made the suggestion of making the candles, because it originally was candles, like you said, and he came up with the suggestion of making them into knives. And then I said to him, you know, it could be a magic candelabra that transforms into a weapon. We also talked about making a candelabra into a sword, but in this one, I kept it as a staff. I mean, this isn't like the final end all be all to the candelabra for sure, but it's an important part of who he is, and definitely important part of this character. And then as far as like some of the other changes, yeah, with the hex symbol, the thing that we kind of felt like it's like sometimes being subtle is more powerful than obvious. And we had the hex symbol right on the castle, but the more we played around with it, it just became too distracting. And it has more power, I think, that this is his castle. He doesn't need to announce to everyone, hey, this is the hex castle. Everyone knows it's his because they found out because they're dead now. So it's things like that. We want people to know this is a hex, a castle of hex and that kind of thing. But at the same time, we don't want to be so obvious that it comes off as corny. So that's why we decided to do that.
And you mentioned also that I didn't think about this at all till you just said tonight, the knights behind him for, people that may be new to Lethayus and what we're doing here. We talked about, the Hex King, obviously, and this being an actual physical comic book, and you guys having say in what this looks like and what the first page of the comic book's going to look like. You can check this stuff out at Lethayus.com. But another project after this is done is the Knights of Hex. We're going to reach out to the community, and you guys are going to tell us who in the community, maybe 15 or so people. Is that right, Duke? About 15 we're going to get?
I can explain that a little bit more. So, so the first two pieces that we've obviously talked about, the Hex King, you guys have seen that. So that's going to be our Genesis. The second one is page 1, volume 1, which again, back to the demigods. Once you buy into the Hex King, you'll actually be able to give us some feedback about what's seen. And this, this visual is going to obviously helps you guys understand when we talk about a scene in the story of Lethayus. So this is obviously a scene that you can tell is something big going on here. But the page 1, volume 1 will be a few windows of a few of the first scenes of the story that we're telling. And so the demigods will get to speak into that. And then the third project that we're doing is going to be our first generative piece. And basically what that means is, I guess the best example would be the Bored Apes, but you guys have probably seen other ones. But basically it's a randomizing different attributes to create thousands of individual NFT images. And so the way that we're going to do that's going to be pretty unique, where we actually we'll ask the demigods, who do you think should be the influencers that we choose to get attributes from to actually create those Knights of Hex. And so we'll pick, anywhere from 10 to 20. And then SK is actually going to sit down with those influencers in the world of Hex and hexagons and actually talk to them and work through creating their character with their attributes. And then those 10 to 20 pieces will actually, in essence, come together and have babies, is the best way to think of it. All those different attributes will be randomized and mixed together to create 5,555 individual Knights of Hex that will be based off of the 10 to 20 influencers that the demigods help us to pick out. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, obviously, we don't know what the influencers, let's say KG is one of them, which we've already talked to him about it. So just for example, SK would sit down with him and say, okay, what do you want your character to look like? Do you want, what's the helmet going to be like? What, do you want glasses? Do you want a tie? Do you want a beard? Do you want, how do you want your eyes to look? So on and so forth. So that's going to be really interesting because we have no idea what the influencers are going to want to look like. But then when we take all those attributes from all 10 to 20 of them and mix them together, it's going to be really neat just to see what actually comes up, out of the algorithm that creates that piece. Which that reminds me too, Maddie, about we were going to announce tonight some big news for us. I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk about that now.
Yeah, that'd be great. And like I said, we're not going to go long on this. I know it kind of feels like it sometimes. Like we could talk forever about this stuff, but we'll announce the if you're here for some hex, we're going to do a hex giveaway. We're going to give away $100 worth of hex in about 5 minutes. But just stay tuned just for a second here. Duke was talking about we had a pretty big announcement. We were trying to figure out a way how we can parlay the things that we're doing with an actual real team, like a quality group of people who specialize in marketing and NFTs. And we've been talking to numerous people, and we've settled on one. You can, kind of talk into that if you want to.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So yeah, it's not marketing. It's actually the development. So obviously NFTs. You want to get off the screen, Maddie?
Sure.
And put me back on. Yeah, we could do that. So obviously NFTs are more than just art. There's technology behind NFTs, and if you've ever been to a website that doesn't work, that looks good, sometimes that can make the website actually be awful, even though it might look good. And then vice versa. You've probably been to a website before that works good, but it looks like crap. We don't want to be any of those in regards to this project. We want our technology to be as good as the art. And obviously you guys have seen the art. It's unbelievable. SK's top-notch, artist here. And so we didn't want to just create some art and then have some crappy code, crappy smart contracts, crappy tech behind it. We wanted some top-notch tech behind the art. And there's a lot that goes into that if you're familiar with NFTs, because smart contracts, which is the driving force behind them, can be written in a bunch of different ways that end up making things not work or not work great. Whatever gas fees end up being with Pulse, we're not sure how that's going to be. Obviously, going to be a lot lower than Ethereum. But if you take Ethereum, for example, your gas fee when you purchase an NFT can actually be higher or lower just based on how that smart contract is written. And so if you've got a great developer and some great tech behind your NFTs, it helps you to obviously feel secure about working with these guys, that this is a legit company. These guys really know what they're doing. They're putting the time and effort into it. And so we wanted to, that's basically who we want to be. So we don't just want to have great art. We want to have great tech behind it. We want the smart contracts that are behind it. We want the roadmap that's behind our plan to be top notch. We're talking about moving this project into the metaverse at some point, because we have the ability with this story to create worlds, games. The sky's the limit. And so obviously there's a lot of tech involved with NFTs. And so we have been on the lookout for someone to fill that role, whether it's a person that we know of that's great at it, or a company that we feel really good about that we can work with. And we actually have been talking to a company out in San Francisco the last couple of weeks, and we have decided to go ahead and sign a contract with them and partner with them to work together on this project. And they're a very fast-growing, up-and-coming Web3 development firm. The name of the company is Medivate. We can share a link with them either in the comments below or even on our Twitter. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more announcements about that coming out with us working together. They're super excited about this. We really like these guys. They are pros. I mean, they've already got several successful NFT projects under their belt. So they know what they're talking about. And yeah, so we really feel like the sky's the limit in regards to this project. We want to make sure we're working and partnering with only the best. And we feel like these guys are the right fit for us. So yeah, so that's the big announcement. We're partnering with Medivate, Web3 NFT firm to cover the development side of this project. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah.
And it's tough too, because when you're doing, OpenSea or a Mentra or whatever, you may be, great with art like Silent Night, and, have some ideas that we have, like the one we just showed you guys, and the Knights of Hex and the Hex King, but actually implementing that and making sure that we're doing it the right way, and the logistics of, putting the NFT out there and minting it. And then if you want to do the Knights of Hex, where you get individual faces and lots of people, and like you said, having babies and it's thousands of them.
Attributes. Yeah.
That stuff's tough, man. So
It gets
having
very
a team,
complicated.
yeah, having a team that understands this really well is important. And we could do it, we could figure it out, but we want this to be really, really quality. It's one of the things we talked about early on. We've been in this for over a year now. It's hard to believe it was a fast year. We've been talking about this. We want Lethayus to be super high quality, great art, great story, really deep, intuitive story. We want it to be something really quality, so people can not only see good art and great NFTs, but actually be involved in a community-driven NFT that hears your voice and your ideas and puts it out there to be kind of the flagship of what NFTs were meant to be. So that was a big part of this. So hopefully when it goes live,
well, and it makes people who buy in feel like they feel secure knowing that we're not just some fly by night.
That's a good point.
Company here. We're not working with some fly by night artist, obviously, and we're also not working by some fly by night developers. Some dude who just reached out to us and said, "Hey, we can code your stuff." Like that's not us. Like we're working with this company. They're fully doxed. A real business in San Francisco, and so they're totally legit. And so you as somebody who buys into this project, the goal is to make you feel good about being a part of this, because that we're taking this very seriously and we're not just messing around. Yeah,
and it makes the NFTs valuable too. The better quality we can have all around, it kind of speaks volumes for us. And Duke was the one that created Lethayus.com. So if you guys take a little peek at that, it's really high quality, man. I sit there and look at it sometimes like, man, I take for granted like the greatness that's around me. Pulsechain, Hex, Lethayus.com, the art from SK. It's really, really nice to be a part of this. Somebody in the comments, Hexographer, was saying that, where is it? Something about, he said, I want to see a whole film based on this art and story direction. I mentioned to him that we actually talked about doing something like that. We can see this, obviously becoming a physical comic book, and also one online where you guys have a say in the characters and the pages and what it looks like. But I think this would be an incredible story, like a real documentary or something, because we're telling the story of crypto from Satoshi, all the way to Vitalik and Ethereum and DeFi and this entire world that is, a crazy complex.
Yeah, somebody mentioned
Richard Hart.
What was it? Somebody said, it was a hexographer. So the visual representation of Satoshi as my imagination in overdrive.
Yeah.
So SK, maybe that's the next one we start messing around with.
Yeah, I saw that quote too. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh, that'd be amazing, especially to hear a lot of suggestions and comments on what kind of things what kind of attributes to give him, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's give away some Hex, guys. Are you ready?
Go for it.
You think that's what I do? I've been looking through the chat. Obviously, I want to make this as random as possible. And I don't want to pick any favorites. A lot of people have been around for a long, long time. I'd love to give you guys Hex. Especially people, I feel for people that have never experienced crypto, like I was saying, or you may be brand new to Hex. The idea of getting Hex, especially 900 or 1,000 Hex, putting that in for a 555 stake, triples your Hex. And also when you get Hex right now, it duplicates on Pulsechain. So you double your bag. So reach out to me, the winner of this. Please reach out to me at Matty Crypto on Telegram, or if you're still here, please leave your Twitter or your Telegram answer. I can reach out to you tonight. I want to get the Hex in your hands tonight. The winner of $100 worth of Hex is going to be Yupk. Yupk, I haven't seen your name in here before, man. And we won't always pick someone new. I like to pick some OGs too. Yeah, man. Congratulations, Yupk. Never seen you before, but I appreciate you being here. You are $100 worth of Hex richer tonight. So, and thanks for everybody else for being here too. We've been here almost an hour. Crazy how fast that was. But thank you guys for spending some of your time, some of your evening with us. We really appreciate that. And please share and like and subscribe to the Lethayus, obviously on Twitter and the YouTube channel here, and reach out to the Silent Night on his Twitter. And please follow us on Telegram. Like I said, we're going to do a bunch more giveaways, and that just kind of primes the pump. If a giveaway gets you here, introduces you to Lethayus or our art, and more importantly, introduces you to Hex and Pulsechain, then it's a win for us. But in closing, anything else you guys want to talk about, SK?
I just want to say real quick, just thank you to, I see a bunch of compliments in here, especially Trevor Elliott said, really nice compliment and everything. And a lot of the people when the art came out were really saying nice things. So I just want to really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much.
About you, Duke.
Good stuff. No, same. I'm excited to. Obviously, I have some things that I do here that's design and art related with the site and giving some feedback and stuff. But I'm really excited that SK's work is getting out in front of folks to see, because I've known him for a while and he's got some amazing talent, and so to see folks really starting to appreciate that even more, it's really encouraging. So yeah, I agree. Thank you.
It is. All right, guys. Well, Duke, Silent Night, thank you guys for being here. This was fun. We've been anticipating this for I don't know, about a week now. We kind of saw the first parts of this this drawing, and it's important to reiterate that too. It's actually a drawing, like a physical drawing with a freaking pencil on paper. So a lot of the stuff you see, especially in the NFT world, how many times have you seen NFTs that are actually paper? An artist actually physically draws this stuff. You know, people pump out these NFTs all the time, and it's pixelated. Like I said earlier, it's like kind of a clip art look to it, which is fine. I understand NFTs are kind of that at this time in NFTs, that's what it is. But imagine getting real artists out there that create quality out there. Nothing knocking the other guys, obviously. I like the stuff too, but man, I'm super biased to the to SK and his work, so I appreciate it. And this is kind of a testament to him, and showing this stuff off is important. And we don't know what we're going to do with this. Is this going to be an NFT? Is it going to be a one-of-one? Is it going to be a physical piece that we make? Or we're going to give this actual drawing away to someone? I don't know. Give us your feedback. Let us know what you want to do with this. If it's
we're going to post it on our channels too. So now that we've revealed it to everybody, so you guys you'll see more of it. You'll be able to get a closer look at it whenever we actually tweet it. So
cool.
Yeah, I would say go out and buy your Bored Ape. That's the NFT for today, but go buy Lethayus because that's the NFT for tomorrow. We're the future of NFTs.
Wait till they see the nights.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about it. I'm so glad you did that. You mentioned that earlier, SK, about having the nights kind of back in the background where you really can't, differentiate features and stuff. It's going to be fun to see the community decide on what influencers you guys want to be in the nights. It's going to be a blast reaching out to them. And, I'm not going to be a knight, but if it was me and these influencers, you're going to reach out to these guys and talk to them. What's your helmet going to be like? What's your weapon going to be like? What's your features? That'll be a blast, man. It'll be really, really a fun time. So I'm looking forward to that too. It's going to be fun showing it off. So everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here. And Duke, SK, thank you guys, buddy. I appreciate both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good times.
See y'all. All right, with that, we're over an hour. Again, thanks for everybody for being here and sharing this time with us. We really appreciate it. We don't take your time for granted. So thank you so much. Even if you're here just for the HEX, that's important to me too. Get this in your hands. Congratulations, Yup K. If you're watching this live, I appreciate you. If you're watching this in the future, months and months from now, Pulsechain is coming. And it's coming. It could be in May, it could be in June, could be in July. The crypto market is in a bear market right now, and it might be the best time for Pulsechain to go live. And when it does, projects like ours, Lethayus and Mintra and Pulsechain, this is going to be something really, really special. So before Pulsechain is live, as of this video, we're in mid-May of 2022. We're not live yet. So you got a really great opportunity and a great chance to look into Pulse and Pulse-related projects before it goes live. So again, I appreciate you guys on behalf of Duke and the Silent Night and everybody at Lethayus. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch y'all on that B-side.